Hey guys, welcome back to Sunday Stock Talk. Normally I don't do a video on Sunday, but today we have so many people requesting about some tickers play of the earnings coming up in 2 or 3 days. And I'll be also going over natural gas, especially dgaz, and just a quick brief overview on the gold futures. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Let's get started. So the first thing I'll look at SP500. This is all based on technical analysis and what I personally think. So if you disagree or agree, I could be wrong, you could be right, we could be both wrong or right. So that being said, with SPX, we're forming higher highs and higher lows. So what's gonna happen before earnings? I'm expecting a quick run up. Since you see here, since we double topped around the 2685, 2680, this zone right here. So what most likely is going to happen is that we can, on Monday, tomorrow, we could attempt to break down just a little bit to 2640, 2655, not that much. If I see a breakdown below the previous two lows, and that's when I will definitely get in. What am I getting? I'm going to play through the pre-earnings for Apple, Tesla, and Boeing. So with that being said, I could see it just go down here. I'm getting it right away. If Monday we had a slightly dip, just a little bit, I'm going to get in, but the small positions, maybe 5 to 10 contracts, call contracts. But Monday, if we see a green open, I might just not get in and wait till Tuesday and just play it intraday. So here's the strategy. Monday, we see a dip to red. Let's see how much it dips. And then you get some maybe Apple, Tesla, Boeing. I'm not playing NVIDIA. I'll tell you why in a second, and not Amazon. I'll play the Tesla, Boeing, Apple for a call play, and then swing the trade till Tuesday. But I'm not going to hold 3R. The reason is that this is not a rolling bulls market anymore. This is still a bear market. So anything can happen. Even though the ER is good, the stock can tank, just like Netflix. So as for that being said, Monday dips, I'm gonna get calls and sell it Tuesday before earnings. So with the SPX, we double top here. But if the earnings is really, really good, we could see a potential rally to 2700. That's in that area is a huge, heavy shorting zone, and we could be in that for a while. But my thesis still stands. We are going to form a W shape, and then before we go up even higher. This is the history, and history always repeats itself. So let's take a look at this one. I'll take a look at Amazon. The reason why I'm not going to play Amazon because look at the risk and reward ratio. So with Amazon, we know this is the triple top, 1760 around this range, and 1700. So with Amazon, we could go up maybe 30 points higher, but look at the potential downside. We're talking about right here, 1300, or maybe not even there, maybe halfway there, 1600, or even 1550. So maybe pre-earning, it will go down that low, but it's not gonna happen. But it could go just a little bit to the upside. But the risk is higher than the profit, the award. So I'm not going to play Amazon pre-earning or during earning or after earnings. Maybe Amazon has very nice earning, and if it happens, we could see 1800 no problem. Why is that? Because we know the expected move for Amazon by Friday is $102, and Amazon's earnings on the 31st. So by February 1st, we see about $102 move total. So that's a huge move for Amazon. 62% implied volatility. So with Amazon, I'm gonna stay away from it because it is very risky. So as that being said, on Thursday, I said Apple could Apple go higher? Yeah, I see a setup for Apple go higher before earning, and Apple rally 5%. Amazon barely 1%. So people question me, why do you think Apple rally higher and Amazon not? They all go together, right? Yes, they do, but Apple rally more than Amazon did. So as that being said, I don't see any potential upside to it for Amazon, not as much as Apple. With Apple, I'm going to play some pre-earning plays because Apple, it is forming higher highs and lower lows. And if you see this is a rising triangle. So it's going to continue to go higher. And it looks like it wants to fill the gap around the $180 dollar mark. Let's see what the gap is at. Around right here, 180, 185. It is possible if Apple has a very nice earning, it's going to boost the whole market up a lot. But again, if Apple fails, we'll be talking about 140 again with Apple. So for the Apple, I'm going to play some pre-earnings. Let's take a look at NVDA. With NVIDIA, we need to know what's going on in the market right now. Intel missed the earnings, right? It doesn't matter. Every semiconductors went from red to green. So is NVIDIA. NVIDIA was down like 5 to 6%. And guess what? Friday closed above 1.46%. That is crazy. So NVIDIA does look like it bottom out around 125. It does want to look at the close, the gap around, let's see, 180, 177, 175 to 186 area. So that's 20 points, about 15, 20 points away. It is very doable. And we have earning coming up February 7th. So that's like 2 weeks from now. So we're looking at next Thursday. So with NVIDIA, I am bullish on it. But I'm going to see green day every day? Probably not. So on the next pullback, I might just play some quick NVIDIA. But if you want to short this down, don't do it because this is basically at its bottom. So why would you short this down if it's at that low? And the next one we'll take a look at, we'll be looking at Tesla. With Tesla, I notice it likes to trade around this 250, 285, and then when it breaks 295, 300, we can see 320, 340, no problem. So with Tesla, we notice it tried to attempt to break the 275, it did not. So right now, I am bullish on Tesla because we can see on Monday or Tuesday, on Monday at end of the day, I'm going to see if Tesla can hold above 295 or even 300. When that happens, Tesla is going to fill this gap right here around the 325 to 330. So that's very, very, very possible. Am I going to play through Tesla earnings? I am not, but I have a short bias on Tesla. So maybe after earning, Tesla can go down to 250 again. Because what you notice here, Tesla likes to go trade around this type of area right here. Oops, like this kind of area. So I'm not gonna be surprised if Tesla goes up to 345, 350. Even though the earnings are good, it might boost up, right? And then 2 to 3 weeks, I'll come back again. So I have a short bias on Tesla. Let's take a look at Boeing. I am playing Boeing calls, whatever, however, because this is a rising wedge. This is a rising wedge and it's uptrend. So until it breaks this trend line, I'm going to continue to be bullish on Boeing. If you notice here, we triple top around 369, 370 area. So what's going to happen is we might go up to 378 or 380. We do have earnings coming up on the January 30th. That's Tuesday. That's Wednesday. So I am bullish on Boeing, but I'm not gonna play through earning. I'm gonna play pre-earning. I might get some Boeing call for 380 or potential $400 for Boeing. Is it going to break the all-time high? Very likely, because if earnings is good, it's gonna break that for sure. But if the earnings is bad, we might see 325. Let's take a look at the expected move for Boeing. For Boeing on Friday, we should see. Let's see if this loads on Friday for Boeing. We'll see a $16 move. So we're looking at wow, that's crazy. So we're looking at 390, very possible. If not, we're gonna go down to 354, which is like somewhere like right here. So yeah, this is in a tight zone, $16. But yeah, with Boeing, I am short-term bullish on Boeing. I wanted to talk about one more thing, Facebook. Facebook, it looks like it also bottomed out around 123, 125. This is a rising wedge. It's keep going up. The trend is up. So with Facebook, earnings coming up around the 30th, so Wednesday, I am going to, here's the thing. I know Facebook doesn't have a good management, all that stuff. But Facebook seems like the bottom out around this area and it refused to go down. If you can see on Tuesday and Wednesday, it refused to go down. And then it came back up very quickly in 2 days. So with Facebook, I'm going to be targeting around $155 or even $160 after earnings. So this is a buy for me. Okay, am I going to play through earnings? Probably not, but I'm going to play pre-earning for 2 days and see how this goes. One more thing I want to talk about is, well, two more things. One, I want to look at natural gas. So with natural gas, I'm still waiting to buy dgaz. I'm going to see, this is going to bounce to the upside. So I'm probably targeting the 50% retracement mark around 3.00, 3.1. If you want to know how this works, take a look at 2 years real quick. 2 years around this February area. You see what happened, natural gas? Let's make it 3 years so you can see it clearly. With natural gas, 3 years, let's look at around this area here. We notice natural gas dipped. So then when the first time it dipped low to 290 right here, it came back 221, that's February 1st. But my point is, natural gas is going to have a bounce to the upside again, but not a lot. That's when we get into dgaz, one more chance. So with natural gas being said, this right here, and then natural gas reversed 2 days, and it came back down, and reversed, and then came back down. So it's short the rips. So with natural gas, we are going to short the rips. Every time you see natural gas has a green day, spikes up, you just buy dgaz and wait till it goes back down. So with natural gas, I'm going to wait for the 3.1 and then down, do the same thing again, rinse and repeat until natural gas finally break down around February to March. So that's what I'm looking for. Do you think natural gas can go back to 3.5, 3.6? Probably not, but it could be, but I don't know. I just wait and see how natural gas is going to play out. But this is gonna bounce to the upside. I'm 100% sure. So let's take a look at gold future. With gold, really quick, we know gold is at 1300, 1301 now. So with gold, the resistance is still at 1307, 1308. I'm thinking this might break, but right now I just wait till for gold to consolidate a little bit. I think if gold goes below 1275 or even 1280, it's going to have a downside to at least 1265 around this area right here before it broke out. So if gold dips below this area right here, it's a small warning sign if you're holding gold for long term, for short term. But right now, I'm thinking gold can come back to 1295 before it goes higher and break this 1306, 1307. Once that break, we can see a 1330 eventually. I don't think the market is gonna hold up this long. So let's just jump into SPX one more time and understand what's gonna happen in the near future, maybe 2 to 3 weeks out. So with the SPX, we are completely retracing back to the 50% retracement mark, and right now we are about at the 618 zone. So what's most likely to happen is to have a rejection around the 2700 or near that place before we go back down. Once SPS break 2600, it's time to short this back down to 2350 or even lower. It's going to form the W shape. It's just a matter of time. I'm just waiting for this to happen. It's gonna happen, and right now, do not trade against the trend. Let's wait till earnings are finished and then decide which direction the market wants to go. Thank you for watching. Have a nice remainder of your weekend, and let's make some earnings play next week. Bye bye.